Hello everyone, this is Daniel Fosco. I'm the Senior Product Designer on the Release Group, and this video is a quick overview of how I run UX MR reviews for release features. So here on the page you can see this MR for a change in the front end of the environments page. So this is what I'll take as an example. For MR reviews, I almost every time use GitPod. So to do that, once you have a GitPod account and you're logged in, you can either click here to launch a new pod using this MR, the code in this MR, or if you have the Chrome extension installed, you can just click here from the MR page. I did that already. You can take anything between like 3 to 6 minutes to run, and after it runs, sorry, this is something else. You'll see this, the VS Code within the GitPod. It will still configure the pod a little bit. It might be broken, and if it's broken beyond like what the instructions can help you, make sure to go into GitPod GDK, and they'll help you figure it out. The people in this channel are always helpful to figure those stuff out. When you do that, you have access to the GitLab instance within the GitPod. Then you do the default, you put in the root access, root password, you change your password, and then you get to this, right? Then the next step that I do is I always have a project that's already set up with a bunch of examples and CI pipeline and environments for what I need to test. So what I'll do is new project, and then I have an export of a project that has all of that ready. It is available in Google Docs in this file, so you can download the zip, and when you do, you go import project, import from GitLab export. You see these sometimes. It's a Webpack optimization thing to make it the GDK in the GitPod run faster. So just wait a little bit and refresh, and you'll be good. The name can be anything really, but this originally was the test deploy approval, so I always use that name. And then I'll use this one. It's the latest. Then you import the project. It should take maybe a minute tops. It's pretty fast. So again, wait a little bit, refresh this. Sometimes you have to refresh twice if you're too hasty. And there you go, you have the project imported. So to test this MR, what it does, and there's a screenshot down here, it's essentially a change to the way the environment items show up within the folders. So if we go to our project into deployments environments, okay, let's wait a bit. Oh, that's interesting. It seems like environments are not exported in the GitLab project export. I thought I had forgotten to add some to my previous zip, but I didn't. They don't go. So let's create a new environment to match what's needed from this MR. And we can see here, essentially what we need is an environment within a folder, maybe 2, and then one outside a folder to test this view. And the way we can do that, it's pretty easy. So let me refresh this until it works. There you go. So the way you make an environment within a folder is just the way you type the name. So you put any name / and then let's say production. This will be folder main production environment. So for URL, it can be anything really. It could be like google.com. So I have an autocomplete for this. It just adds GitLab as the URL. So I'll just go back, create another one. GDK in GitPod can get a little bit slow, so Let's see how long this will take. It's loading, and let's do a third one called anything really InfraDev. So you see now we have one folder with two environments, and then a third one that if I refresh will show up outside of the folder because of the naming structure. All right, but with that done, we can see in the MR description that we actually need to turn on a feature flag to see this. So let's do that. Let's just see where we are. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I messed up with my folders a little bit here, but you should be in the GDK folder when you go in. So we'll just go into the GitLab folder. That's lowercase GitLab. There you go. So this is the GitLab repo within the GDK folder. And we can see we're already in the right MR, and that's because we created this GitPod from the MR. All right, now to the feature flag. Following the instructions here on the GitLab repository, we should go into the bin folder. So cd bin. And then from there, we go into the hidden folder Rails and enter the command console. We can do that all at once. So it's not sure if it's a hidden folder or just the way the command is set up, but Rails console. I guess that's not working. Huh. Oh, sorry. cd Rails console. That's odd. What? I'll pause the video for a minute. Alright, and we're back. So I figured out what I was doing wrong, and I already fixed the command. So we do cd dot slash bin. Yeah, and that's the bin folder inside GitLab. And then cd dot slash Rails console. Almost there. We made it, I think. Yes, we made it. So this is the Rails console where you turn on the feature flag. It was a little convoluted, but essentially you do cd dot slash bin dot slash Rails console, and you're in there, and then you just do feature dot enable, and then parenthesis colon is important here, and the name of the feature flag. And if you see this with the purple statements, that means it's succeeded. So what we're gonna do is just copy paste the URL to see the difference, and there you go. You see it's a different layout. So that's how you create a new project, create the environments necessary to see the environment's views, and then turn on the feature flag that you want. If you want to turn off the feature flag, you just do feature disable, and you see the red statement here, and if we refresh this page, it goes back to the old layout, or at least it should. That doesn't work, but that's fine. I'll figure out how to turn it off, and I'll leave it in the instructions here on the MR. Again, this instructions is not for this MR specifically, but it's for any MR in the release space that needs a feature flag to be turned on. So thanks for watching, and hope this is helpful. Cheers.